Hi! So a few years ago, I had an amazing opportunity to go on a missions trip to Ecuador. And growing up, I kind of always thought I had a good understanding of different cultures and kind of how to adapt in them, even though I had never been to another country or even been submerged in another culture. So going to Ecuador was a huge culture shock, but it taught me a lot of lessons. It opened up my eyes, which kind of shaped me into the person I am today. So when we first got there, we went to the bigger city, Quito, and then we drove deeper into the jungle to this small town called Misawayi, which was a very poor town. And then we got to go to these different outreaches there to kind of hang out and connect with some of the kids. And when we got there, a group of kids kind of ran over and gave us a bunch of gifts. And this little boy, he gave me this carving of a bird, which he made with his own hands. And it's very important and dear to my heart because it kind of brings me back to the whole trip and reminds me all the lessons that I learned down there. And so when this boy handed me this bird, my immediate thought was like, oh no, like, we're the ones who are here to give them stuff. Like, they need us to give them things because they had so little, which was honestly a pretty small-minded thing to think. But in that moment, it was like cool to kind of humble myself and realize if I didn't accept this gift, I would be robbing this little boy the gift of giving, and that's not something I can take away from him because it truly is a gift to give. And then it was also cool to see how joyful and content all these kids were with how little they had and how generous they were when they really didn't have much to give, but they still would give anything that they had. So that was super encouraging for me to kind of reflect on and kind of think about how I'm living here. And so I think I'd encourage you guys, and myself included, to maybe find joy and contentment in something that transcends our circumstances or the materialistic things that we own, and to never take away someone's gift of giving. So yeah, those were the kind of big things I learned, and I think that everyone can kind of take something away from those lessons. But yeah, overall the trip was a super growing experience and I learned a lot, and Ecuador has such a special place in my heart. Yeah, so thank you for allowing me to share my experience with you, and thank you so much for listening. Bye.